Aloha me kako, o ka iwi ka hapono, he po na ka ina kupalu e kalai, o Wahiawa hoi. No hau I kune ke manawa I Wahiawa. Aloha, my name is Kaiwi Kahapono. I'm from Hale'iwa, Waialu, Oahu. So we've been surfing for generations. I'm currently 19 years old, third generation waterman. This is my story. So from the beginning, it started with my pops, passing it down to my dad. I like to tell people that like my first contest was when I was in my mom's womb, when my mom was Hawaii with me. She surfed the Hale'iwa International Open and she actually won the women's division that year. So I like to tell people that was my one contest I won. Besides that, I'm always like second place or semi, so it's pretty funny. Surfing's been in my family for a long time, I like to say. All the ike that my grandpa had from his dad, passed on to my dad and down to me. Yeah, just was raised in the water when I was a baby, but we lived up here the whole time up in Wahiawa, so it's kind of hard like not living where the rest of my family is, you know? But it's funny, like, even though I live up in Wahiawa, I don't know anybody up here. It's like, all the people I know up here is through surfing, so it's like, kind of trippy how my roots like still stayed so strong from the prior generations. And I just kind of wanted to just get away from all of the riffraff and just all the energy. He just wanted to let us live a peaceful upbringing. Yeah? My dad used to take me to the beach when I was a kid. I have pictures when I was this freaking baby, like fresh out kind. Nah, I was actually kind of a big baby. Big white Hawaiian. Like it was funny, when I was little, like, I know I'm Hapa and Ilikea, but when I was a baby, like, I looked like a clone of my dad, just straight Hawaiian features, but just white. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I think when I was around 6 was when I actually asked my dad to like, told him I like really wanted to start surfing. Because all before that, like, yeah, he'd take me out, push me in the white water, like how all of us Hale'iwa kids do. But yeah, when I was around like 6, I told Dad, I was like, Dad, I want to start surfing. Like, I want to like start doing it. Like, I watched my older cousins, like Ha'a, my cousin Tivai, all of them doing it. And I'm like, frick, like, I want to do that too. I used to surf the menehune when I was a kid. Grew up surfing the Hale'iwa menehune. Up until I was about, well, like, it stopped at 12. I think when I was around that age, I kind of like, something just changed in my mind and I just wanted to just see what else was out there. So I started doing like jiu-jitsu, volleyball, all kinds of random land sports, and kind of like strayed away from, I guess, who I was. But like, it's kind of funny, like, say around 2019, like right before the pandemic, I started getting back in surfing. I think I was middle school at the time. Me and this friend down Kauai Loa, and we just would freaking surf every day in middle school. Then COVID hit, then everybody started surfing, and it got pretty nuts. I kind of trip out now, like seeing how you can paddle out to Chans and there'll be like I'm not even joking, almost 100 people. And like, I see pictures of my parents back in the days, and like, sometimes you luck out and you get a session with like 5 guys, and it's just crazy how much the surfing world has changed. But yeah, I really value all that kind of ike, all the knowledge that like I get from my dad then. For me, like, surfing is more than just a sport or just a practice that I do. It's like, it's really valuable to me. It's kind of goes beyond that. It's like, we have this word or this term in Hawaiian, huika velo. So velo ohana, it's kind of like a practice that you hold on to and that you practice, that you give life to. So some people, they're kaolo farmers, some people are fishermen. For my family specifically, like my dad's line, it's like surfing's always been pretty big for us. Like they do everything else, like we can fish, we got a paddle. That's what a waterman is, you can do everything in the ocean. Not necessarily like I'm gonna be the best at all of it, but can perform pretty decently. Yeah, so my great-grandpa, I heard stories from my dad that my great-grandpa used to surf Waikiki a lot with Upper Rabbit, Kekai. So that's kind of, to my knowledge, that's the farthest back I can go, because all I have is the stories from my dad and my grandpa, yeah. And my grandpa, they're a big family, about 6 kids. They live down in Otaki camp, down in Waialua. And yeah, my grandpa used to surf a bunch as a kid. He was actually Hanai though, so when he was real little, he used to live in, he grew up in Ewa for a little bit of his childhood, eventually moving back in with the family. Yeah, my family was real poor back in the day. A lot of struggle from what my dad told me, but so yeah, surfing was kind of a big outlet, a good outlet for them. Yeah, my grandpa was the oldest of the three that went on to be pros. My pops used to take his two younger brothers out, Hale'iwa, push them in the water just like how me and my dad and freaking my grandpa, my father, so forth, you know. And yeah, it's kind of nuts to think about that. Hear a bunch of stories of my pops from all kind of people back in the day. Well, my grandpa passed away when I was only like 2, so I never really got to know him too well. But that's another reason why surfing is kind of important to me. It's kind of a place where like you can really go out there and you can just kind of, I don't know if connect is the correct term, but it's kind of, you can feel like you're with them, yeah. Get the time you never had. But I get to have that through my dad. Lucky enough, I got a couple of his boards, so I still get to have that real pilina with him, connection. They grew up surfing Hale'iwa. Then he taught his two younger brothers, Marvin, Kalani. I got to surf with Uncle Kalani when I was little, quite a bit. That was pretty cool. It's sad though now, like going down there, it's like going to Hale'iwa and it's a whole different place. Like, not just, like there's physical changes, like you see all the coconut trees dying. Surf Center, they changed it back to how it was back in the day. Took off that second story for Baywatch, but all the figures that I grew up knowing to be my uncles, most of them are gone. That generation, is kind of trippy now, like seeing my dad become that kind of those kind of figures, you know? Like my dad getting to that age, he's in his 50s, you know? But yeah, like all the uncles, like freaking going down every morning and my dad making me shake all the uncles' hands on the table, all them drinking the McDonald's coffee underneath the blue tent. Yeah, Uncle Hawaiian giving me huge hugs, Kukalani too. Really miss them, but I feel like that's kind of like a huge reason why like I've been surfing so much recently. There's not a lot of Hawaiians in the water on our side anymore. Well, there are, but like on the day-to-day basis, it's kind of trippy seeing how the lineup changed over time. Still plenty aloha, but just different. Yeah, so that's kind of like why I find it to be so important for me to be down there and my cousins to be down there. That's really what it is perpetuating culture. It fulfills me to be able to do something that I know my family's been doing for generations. And like, it's kind of a cool little thing I get to like nick away, like I get to chip away at, is like trying to find who am I gonna be, you know? All of my family have their own things that they do. Marvin surfing pipe and waimea, my pops out Hale'iwa and Avalanche, Paradise, and still trying to figure out what am I gonna do. My cousin Ha'a doing Hawaiian Water Patrol, you know, got a lot of cool, like a lot of solid people that I get to look up to. So gotta see where I go. This is actually a gift to me. Uncle Marvin gave this to me when I was a baby. It's a picture of me and him when I was little. Yeah, I wish I could have got to know them better. Kind of just the time I was born into. My dad had me really late out of all my cousins, so. But yeah, Uncle Marvin said this is pretty special to me. Yeah, just a shot of my dad doing cut back out Hale'iwa when I was kind of roping. Back in the day, like, that was kind of my dad's thing, was going out Hale'iwa big on a longboard. There weren't a lot of North Shore guys but during his time going on a longboard on that kind of size. Like, my dad used to get scoldings from the uncle saying like, "Eh, longboards, they're tankers," is what they used to call them back in the day. Like, those are only for old guys, what are you doing? And then my dad pulls up like 6, 8, 10-foot Hale'iwa, almost maxing it.
So yeah, he's from like the generation with like Dwayne DeSoto.
Yeah,
and like all of
Dwayne
that.
was a little kid. My dad's like around Bonga's age.
Oh, okay, Bonga. Okay, more Bonga. Okay,
Yeah, Bonga, I think he's like 1 or 2 years older than him.
Oh,
I surf with Bonga's son a lot. That's my surf buddy. When I was like, I think this was when I was like around 1 year old. It's my dad and my papa. So that's my grandpa's Leonard Paul Foster Sr. My dad's Junior. And then Leonard's my middle name too. So it's kind of like a funny like third Leonard, third generation. Third generation surfing the Hale'iwa International Open too. That's where these pics are from. All their little trophy cards.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for me, that's a pretty important contest. My pop surfed that every year since it started, all the way till he passed away. So my dad tried to keep that up for a few years, and then now he got me and my cousins, me, Tivai, Ha'a, all doing it too. Yeah, so I've always been kind of like interested in Alaias. I've always been fascinated by them. Just like growing up in a Hawaiian immersion school and always seeing like traditional ways of stuff, like I've always wondered how it felt to ride on Alaia. Watching all the videos of the guys out Makaha, But that's the funny thing, you never see anybody really do it out Hale'iwa. Ako Pomai does it, but yeah, kind of like sparked the fire in me where I kind of wanted to try. So my uncle gave me a board, his board from Hilo. This guy, Ohana, his first name was, but his board is Ohana boards. Surfboards by Ohana from Hilo. The thing was sick. I used to love riding that thing out chans, and then one day got a little bit too stupid and I started pulling into barrels on the inside bowl, and I snapped it right down the middle. Still haven't gotten around to fixing it. That board was beautiful. I think it was Polonia, and it had like these sick koa cross beams binding. So sick. This was my first board I made, kind of a rough cut. I made that maybe about 2 years ago. Started to split up here and just kind of glued it back. I was like taking a wood Kalaila'au course at WCC, Kumumiki. We were talking about making a board, but we just never really got around to it. Finding wood, it's pretty hard. You gotta have the right sources, right connections. So these boards aren't the ideal wood I'd like to make them out of. Ideally, I'd say probably ulu or Polonia is sick. A lot of people use that, but I think redwood. I like redwood. I made a couple redwood boards about a year ago. Up at my grandparents' house up in Kona. I made it out of a old water tank, so some old grove wood. Those ones are pretty fun, but yeah, this was my first Alaia I made. This one was just a random sketch out. I was just drawing what I was feeling. It's not the cleanest mahi'ole drawing I've done, but it's the mahi'ole that's like the headpiece that our ali'i would use. Kind of spoke to me, so I started using that on my boards. This one's probably the most cartoony, least nice drawing I've done. This one here, this is my favorite board. Went a little shorter on this one, 5'9". I had to go put a little bit more length on it than like the usual ones you see guys ride, because using pine, it doesn't float too well. It's a little bit of a concave in the tail, but yeah, I needed a little bit more length just to get enough lift off the water. So it was about a year in. My craftsmanship got a little bit better. I started playing around with stain a little more. Yeah, and this was my my everyday rider. Ideally, I'd say I'd want to make a board at least an inch thick, but this is what I had, so I made it work. Took this thing out Hale'iwa, some pretty funny days. Surfed some waves I never thought I'd surf on this. Paddle out, Hale'iwa's like 2 feet, and then my cousins paddle out. Next thing you know, Ha'a's calling me onto this set, pull into like a 4-foot closeout and just get slammed. Gotta swim all the way into peaks. But Paipo'o versus Paipo'o, I guess technically this is also a uma. Kind of depends who you talk to. I've heard from different uncles, different things. Some uncles say, well, definitely Paipo'o is like, it's not, from what I've heard, isn't a Hawaii term, yeah. From Uncle Mahi, he's who I drew a lot of my inspiration from. He's the guy who taught my uncle, who inspired me to making Paipo'os when I was in middle school. Yeah, Uncle Mahi calls them Paipo'o. Paipo'o, so P-A-E-P-O Okino'o. So that's what I stick by. That's kind of, he's my main influence, so that's what I follow. This is my mini one, so this is a 36 by 18 by 3 1/4. People always think I'm writing in Japanese sometimes because I write kind of blocky and it's sideways, so it's funny. But yeah, this is my standard play around board. It's a little mini bugger. And this is my personal board. This is the one I've been riding. Little art project inspired by Hawaiian Forest up in Hilo. I have a aloha shirt from them that I just love to death, so I kind of just took inspiration from their head design and drew a revamp of it. You guys can find me on Instagram at Ka'iwa Kikahapono, or my wood account at Foster Surfboards, or at Papa Pai. If you guys get any wood plugs, hit me up. I'd love some ulu or some Polonia. Want to get better at shaping my board, so
Hey guys, Ramon here. Thank you all for tuning in to today's video. Hit that subscribe button and notification bell to stay up to date with what's happening here on Oahu. If you would like to watch more videos, check out our playlist. And last but not least, consider becoming a member of the Oahu Surf Films Ohana.